Hi, y'all. This is Charity from F.R.O.G Crochet, and our devotion today, Grace Upon Grace. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is perfected in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Sometimes there are things that happen in life that physically hurt, whether it be a paper cut or a major incision. A break in the skin hurts. Our skin is our protective covering. When it is broken, the nerves are exposed, and we feel the pain. The same is true with our emotions. There are no bandages for emotional hurt, but there is a covering that is really available. But there is a covering that is readily available. God's grace. Consider the pearl. Did you know a pearl can only be made when an irritant places itself inside the oyster? The oyster does not seek out the irritant. The irritant arrived as an uninvited guest. How does the oyster deal with its uninvited guest? The oyster produces a carbon-based mineral, producing thin layer after thin layer of NaCre over the irritant, forming a pearl. Aragonite, A-R-A-G-O-N-I-T-E, is exceptionally strong, preventing the irritant from breaking through the layers. God's grace in our lives acts much the same way. His power is made perfect in our weakness, layering grace upon grace, turning the pain into a beautiful pearl that cannot be penetrated. Diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds all become more valuable when the gemologist removes just enough of the barriers around the stone, fervently polishing the stone to reveal its hidden beauty. Not so with the pearl. The appearance is most beautiful and valuable when left completely alone. So often we try to chisel away hurts, reshape them with reasoning skills, or polish over them. Our efforts then interfere with the layering of grace upon grace and God's divine plan that can create beauty from the irritants. Natural pearls are very rare. Only 1 in 10,000 oysters will contain a natural pearl. For those that do, they hold a treasure like none other. Our prayer today is, Lord, give me grace for today to trust you are working through the difficulties and irritants in my life. And for a deeper walk, read Isaiah 61, 1 through 3. And this gets us caught up, and it is, are we listening? Whenever you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear this command behind you. This is the way, walk in it. Isaiah 30:21. The sun grew low on the horizon as we hiked our way along the rock-strewn mountain trail west of Flagstaff. We'd taken a turn down this path on a whim. The well-maintained sign read Arizona Trail, so we assumed it would lead us back to where we started. But unbeknownst to us, this particular trail stretched for 800 miles in the opposite direction. We were lost. A chilly breeze blew. Bats circled overhead. Should we turn around? Should we try to retrace our steps in the dark? Just as we began to panic, we heard the grinding sound of tires on distant pavement. We darted off in their direction through the brush and weeds until not 100 yards away we reached the exact road we needed to find. What would have happened if we hadn't been listening? Where would we have ended up if that car hadn't passed by right where the road made a sharp turn toward the trail? Life at times can easily take us off course. Distraction, busyness, even well-meaning intentions can cause us to veer from where God wants us to go. But if we're listening, God is faithful to call out to us. If we're open, He's ready to lead and guide. Isaiah challenged the people of Israel to tune their ears to God's voice, and that challenge remains the same for us today. God promises to show us mercy and compassion. When we call out to Him, He will hear and answer at the sound of our cries. God listens to us, and we should do the same. How are you listening for God's voice? How do you wait patiently for His instructions and guidance to follow His directions? The Lord wants us to know His way and to walk in it. And the prayer is, Lord, may my ears always be tuned to your voice calling. And for a deeper walk, read Isaiah 30:15 through 26. Alrighty, that is our devotion for today. We'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.